to my channel. Today I have something which we haven't done before. This is actually a cocktail that I came up with myself. I've been pondering what to call it, but I think that we're going to go with the English Garden. I mean, I don't really know why, because the only vaguely English thing about it is the cucumber, but there's something about the flavour of this that really evokes that kind of vision for me. Maybe I'm just very nostalgic for home. I don't know. Let's get into it. So, 3 ingredients for this. Well, 4 actually, because of the cucumber. So, some dry gin, some basil syrup, lemon juice, and the cucumber. Now, the basil syrup is just a simple syrup, a 1-to-1 sugar to water, and I actually just used the stems of the basil because to me it seems kind of wasteful to use the leaves. The stems have a lot of flavour, and it's actually more of that vegetal flavour that I think really plays nicely here. So I made my simple syrup, and when it was hot I dropped the stems in, put a lid on it and left it in the pan for 20-25 minutes till it cooled down. Then strain out the stems and keep it in the fridge, and it should last, okay, don't hold me to this, but I would say a couple of weeks. Mine is going on a couple of weeks and it looks fine, but sometimes sugar syrups can grow mold after a while, so please be careful with that. Don't want you poisoning yourselves. Quantities, it's going to be the simple 2 parts alcohol, 1 part sweet, 1 part sour. So 2 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of the basil syrup, and 1 ounce of the lemon juice. And as far as the cucumber goes, we're going to muddle some of that in our shaker before we mix everything up to add a bit of that fresh flavour. So for equipment, the only thing that you're going to need that's different to usual is going to be a muddler. I have this one. If you don't have one, you could use a rolling pin or a pestle from a pestle and mortar, that kind of thing. So let's get started. As far as cucumber, I'm just gonna slice off about this much and kind of cut it into chunks. And I know you're all thinking, wow, that's a sexy cucumber. The stripy thing that I have here. We got this in we get like every fortnight we get a box from a local farm, and this is the second one now. I don't really know what the variety is, but it's nice because a lot of American cucumbers have a really thick skin that you have to peel off before you can eat them, but this one has a nice thin skin and it looks really cool. So we've got our cucumber in here. Take the muddler and we're just going to kind of try and smush it, get some of that juice out there, because cucumbers are mainly water. Okay, once you're done smushing, let's get in with everything else. So, 2 ounces of gin, always with the wrong hands. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that is a common issue that I seem to have. So, 2 ounces of gin. I like this drink because it's very fresh tasting and light, which I think is what you really want as the weather starts to warm up. Not something that's too heavy on the palate. Okay, so then we're going to go in with 1 ounce of this basil simple syrup. You might think basil seems like an odd choice for cocktails, and I have to say, I used to think the same before I'd ever actually tried it myself, and there is something, it smells a little bit like pesto, but it also smells kind of like freshly cut grass, which, okay, that sounds equally unappealing in a cocktail. You have to try it, trust me. There's something about those green notes that is very refreshing, especially along with something like the cucumber. So now we're going in with 1 ounce of lemon juice. See that perfect amount I have there. Okay, then, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ice into the tin. So 1 big boy, 1 small cube, pour that over the top, smack that in there, and then also the act of shaking it is going to bash up that cucumber even more, so it's going to give you a really nice essence of the cucumber in the cocktail. So make sure that this is tight, and then we're going to shake it for 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, that looks good. So tap your heel of your hand where the glass connects with the tin. Strain out any excess that we've got there. Now, before we go into garnish, maybe I should have done this before, I've been thinking about what I'm going to do for a garnish here, and I think what I'm going to try and get is like a piece of peel from the cucumber that we're going to line inside the glass. So there we go. Let's go in with one of these stripy guys. This is, of course, very optional. You could also just do a slice of cucumber on the rim of the glass. That would be nice too. Okay. Now, I think you're probably going to want to double strain this. So that means using a hawthorn strainer and a tea strainer, which is what I think this is, because some of those seeds from the cucumber might be in there, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They're not chewy or crunchy, but just as far as the look of your cocktail, it will look clearer if you double strain. So, clear up my workspace. The only thing with the tea strainer that's this fine is it actually kind of gets clogged a bit quickly, so you just have to do a little swirly swirl to get this liquid to go through. Okay, and there we have it. Not really sure how well my garnish fared there, but it looks kind of cool. You know what, let's just, okay, don't do this at home, but let's just poke that around to make it sit a bit better. You could also serve this on the rocks, especially if you're going to be drinking it outside when it's hot. It is very hot at the moment here in LA. It's 30 something degrees today, Celsius, I don't know, like 90 Fahrenheit, which is really hot when you don't have AC. So anyway, I cannot wait to try this. I've already tried it before, not even on that, so it's not my first time. Let's have a sniff. It smells fresh, it smells clean, it smells, yeah, I mean, it's not particularly perfumed. You've just got a bit of the citrus and some of the cucumber kind of freshness going on there and the grassiness from the syrup. So without further ado, let's give it a taste. Cheers. That is exactly what I need on this hot afternoon. It's very refreshing. It's not too sweet, not too sour, not too strong. There's something about the cucumber that really kind of softens everything a little bit. Yeah, I would recommend making this as soon as possible if it's a hot afternoon somewhere near you, and enjoy it out in the sunshine, maybe with, you know, some snacks. I'm always recommending the snacks with the drinks because you really can't go wrong with that. So cheers, and I hope that you enjoy this cocktail, and I'll see you here next time. Please subscribe and like this video.